Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Girls Gotta Talk podcast. We are another week, a day late, but better late than never, am I right? This episode, honestly, just, I don't know. Like, I wouldn't say I forgot to record. I didn't forget to record yesterday, but with the way yesterday just kind of went as a day as a whole, if that even makes sense. I usually have the camera set up for me before I go to record, and it wasn't, but I didn't really like push the issue. Like, I kind of forgot. So it was just kind of like, okay, guess I have to record tomorrow type of situation. And the way today has gone, not gonna lie, I kind of like the fact that I'm recording today instead of yesterday. Yesterday, I don't know, I wasn't really feeling like a vibe. I wouldn't really have probably wanted to record yesterday. I probably would have decided to like hang out. I recorded a YouTube, like I filmed a YouTube video yesterday for my main channel, and that like I don't want to spoil it and give it away. You'll see when it's uploaded if you go and subscribe over there. It's just Alyssa Fulton on YouTube. But it literally required me pretty much to just sit and relax and like take the day, if that makes sense. Normally I have weekends off, so Saturday, Sunday, and Fridays I usually work a double. So like after working a double, having Saturday, Sunday off is super nice, super chill. I don't know, I kind of usually just take the weekend how it comes, but I worked doubles both Friday and Saturday and had Sunday off and worked today. So I feel like I only had like a 1 day weekend. So the fact that I kind of took it slow and just took the day and basically relaxed and kind of did nothing, I really enjoyed it. I was kind of just relaxing, hanging out. The weather was kind of iffy as well. It was like not, OBS always wants to glitch on me. Yesterday wasn't bad weather-wise, but it was kind of gloomy. It started storming at night. It's how it's been lately. We're in like the middle of like a heat wave right now. It's been super humid, super just gross outside. Like it's one of those I don't want to say heat waves. Like obviously you don't want to be outside in a heat wave, but it's just one of those things where it's like it's so sticky, hot, warm outside. You don't want to be out there for probably more than 5 minutes. So hanging out inside was just very, very ideal. So that's what we did. But here we are on a much better day. I don't know, like it's not as warm today. It was actually kind of nice. I actually just got back I went to a little beach area. I took JJ after I picked him up from daycare. It was kind of like a test run to see how he would be at the beach. He's never been to a beach before. And I didn't know, honestly, how he would be like with the sand. Part of me actually expected him to hate it. So the fact that he didn't makes me very, very happy. I went to my favorite little beach. I don't know. It's not really like the best beach, but it'll do for like just sitting. I wouldn't say I would swim there, but I would definitely just hang out there. I do it all the time. But we actually sat in the sand tonight. And he walked. Okay, so this is probably really weird to hear. It's kind of hard to explain. So he walked in the sand perfectly fine, which I thought would be kind of weird for him. The fact that he was trying to walk and it was like, you know how you walk in sand and it kind of like, I don't want to say melts, but it just feels weird. Like it's not like it's a solid ground. I thought he would hate that, honestly. So when we started walking, it was a good start for him to just be walking by himself. I thought he'd want me to like carry him or something. So then I got to a certain just random part in the beach and I put a towel down that I brought for me to sit on. I thought he would honestly be on it too, but he kind of squatted the whole time to like play in the sand. And he got little beach toys, I think for his birthday. And like I said, we haven't been to a beach, so he hasn't used them yet. And I brought them just as little something for him to do to kind of basically experiment with the sand and see if he liked it, see if he would play with it, see like what he would do and how he would react to it. And I put the blanket down. It said windy on like my weather app, which I thought was kind of like not the best, and especially being by the water, it would obviously probably make it a little worse. So it was windy when we got there, but it wasn't like cold, if that makes sense. Like the wind actually felt pretty nice because of the fact, like I said, it's been super hot and humid lately. So we were sitting there, but the skies started to get a little dark and it felt like it was like raining. It wasn't like pouring. It was like little sprinkles, but I think because of the wind, it made it seem like it was raining harder than it actually was. So at one point I was like, all right, like we're just going to go, because at this point I felt like my back was like getting soaked because the way it was raining and the way I was sitting, I was facing the water, but the rain was kind of behind me. So it was like coming at me like straight to my back. And I kind of packed everything up. We walked back to the car. I was kind of upset because by the time we were driving home, it like stopped and it was kind of back to like cloudy skies, but like a regular cloudy sky, like not dark skies. So I was like, dang, if we probably just waited it out like 5 minutes, it probably would have been so much better. But now I know that he is perfectly okay in the sand, or he was at least there. And if I had to go and sit there in the sun, that's fine with me. So now I'm really excited for a beach trip because I know he'll be all right in the sand. So that was definitely an experience worth taking. I'm so excited we went. I kind of picked him up and wanted to just go out because I was just feeling like going out. Lately it's been super hot, so I've just been like working and then sitting in the apartment. And like I said, today wasn't as hot or humid, so I was like, let's take advantage, let's go do something. I didn't know what to do, but I decided to go there. I kind of wish it didn't rain, or I kind of wish I just held out for 10 minutes and would have been there a little longer, but it's okay. That, like I said, it was all I needed to know, is that he'll be okay in the sand. So maybe this weekend or something, I could take him somewhere to like play and I could sit out and we will both, like, it'll be a win-win. So that was super fun. We came home, ate dinner. He took a bath. I showered just because I felt like he was probably sandy. He had probably had sand, who knows where. But it was really weird because this is what I was going to explain that is kind of hard to explain. So when he was in the sand, he walked in the sand perfectly fine. He played in the sand, like he was using a little like toy shovel and a bucket and all this stuff. He was crouching down, so he didn't want to sit on the blanket that I had. So he was crouching down the whole time. And he was fine crouching and being in it. And he was fine like playing with it, like scooping it with his little toy shovel. I think the sand, like he touched it with his fingers and he didn't like it. It's so weird. So being in the sand is fine, which actually might make or break the next beach trip, because if he's barefoot, I don't know if he'll like it. So I might have to like just make sure he has shoes on the whole time, which I just got him water shoes actually, so he'll just have to wear those. But he dropped his shovel and he went to go reach for it, and I think the way he reached for it, because he couldn't fully reach, but he didn't take a step towards it, if that makes sense, to like help him get it, he actually like grabbed the sand with his hands, like meaning to grab the shovel, and he didn't like it. He didn't like the way it felt. And then he like fell down because, like I said, he was crouching the whole time. When he went to go reach, he kind of like fell on his butt and he like freaked out. He was like, oh, up. Like he just didn't, I don't think, like the way it actually felt on him, but he was fine playing in it. Like, it's so weird to explain, but anyways, I think he'll be okay. I think maybe water shoes and he just has to crouch the whole time. As long as he doesn't touch it, we'll be all right. But I'll take it. Like, honestly, I honestly thought the way he would be like walking and standing in it was going to be he didn't like it. But the fact that he was walking and in it for as long as he was makes me very happy. But anyways, streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, anywhere you stream your podcast, or we are here on YouTube. Girls Gotta Talk podcast. Come subscribe and join the fam over here. Yeah, this is the last summer episode we have planned. We have reached the end of the month. This episode, if you're listening to it, the day it came out was supposed to be out yesterday, but like I said, I didn't record, and honestly, perfectly fine. But we're out now. We're live. Hello. This episode, not gonna lie, kind of gets me a little emotional. It's kind of a trip down memory lane for me. So this is another one kind of sponsored. I don't want to say sponsored. Brought to you by like another Instagram post. The Every Girl is the @ on Instagram. I took the list they had on a post. I think I took off like 3 or 4 things out of the list because the rest I kind of related to, and the ones I took off, like I just couldn't relate to, so I didn't put it in this, if that makes sense. I saw this list and it automatically took me down like memory lane. Most of it with like summers where I was at my cousin's house. I don't know if my family really knows this. The house my cousin used to live in, it's probably like maybe 35, 40 minutes away. I lived in that town for a little bit. It's the school my brothers ended up graduating from. And we lived up there for probably, I would say, 2 years maybe. It seems like a very small town. There's really nothing to do in the town. You definitely have to go surrounding towns or like out of your way to go somewhere and do something. But I don't know. The area she lived in, I loved. I actually loved the house that she grew up in. It's kind of like your ideal kind of house. If I were looking for a house again, like this would be the type of house I would look for. It has probably everything you need. It has 2-car garage leading into the house. It has a big backyard. It has a decent sized yard. And it has like, I don't know, just everything you need. They built like a new master bedroom right over the garage. So decent closet size, master bath. It still had 3 other bedrooms besides the master bath that they had built and like renovated. It had like a full basement. It had different rooms downstairs. So if you enter the basement, there's like a laundry room. There's like one other like small room you could probably do anything you want with. They had another like storage room. They had a room where it was like a play room. And then they had a room you walk through to go from the garage into the basement to go into the house type of thing, if that makes sense. I don't know, just everything about it was just kind of ideal. When I think of like my like living space, I want to make sure that everything I have has a place, if that makes sense. I like to think of and I like to plan out like where I'm gonna keep everything, where everything's gonna go, make sure everything kind of has a home. And I feel like in that house, everything probably would have had a home because there's so much space in that house that you can like make spaces for your stuff, if that makes sense. Everything could have its own space. Everything could have a home. Everything can like be directed in a certain room. I don't know. I just loved it. It had like linen closet upstairs. It had another like closet for coats. They had a closet for blankets. Oh, well, the linen closet was in like both bathrooms. Place for coats, place for like a whole little door they like stored blankets in. It was like you knew where to find this and you knew where to find that. The kitchen was decent sized. Dining room into a back deck that like gave a view of the whole backyard. I don't know, like personally, I loved it. I to this day still love it. I feel like if it was placed in a better like town, it would be totally ideal. Like I said, in the area that she grew up, I loved where it was. It was very quiet neighborhood. It was near almost every school. It was right down the road from a local grocery store, a Dunkin', like McDonald's, a nail salon, like AutoZone. Like, I don't know. I would think location-wise, it was kind of prime. You were kind of near a lot. Not that far from the highway, maybe 10 minutes. And that's because you're stopping at traffic lights. Like, nothing crazy. But I ideally loved that house. I think about it a lot. I'm not going to lie. So this, like I said, episode kind of brought me down a memory lane with summers at that house. We had a lot of picnics there between Memorial Day, 4th of July. Always set up fireworks. Yeah. So anyways, the first thing, so this kind of was like a nostalgic little things to do in the summer type of situation. The first thing on the list was ride a bike, and this automatically brought me down to summers at that house because my cousin had multiple like mountain bikes, and like I said, her neighborhood was very quiet, very subtle, very like not a lot of cars, so you could like freely be out playing and not have to worry about like moving out of the way for cars going by. I know where I grew up, there was a lot of traffic, kind of. So we always had to like, not that we were like playing in the road, but if we were playing like basketball in our driveway, we had to make sure like if the ball went out in the road that A, no one was going to come and run it over, and B, when we had to cross the street to go and get it, that like no cars were coming. But in her neighborhood, you really did not have to worry about that, which I thought was super nice, especially for like young kids playing around. But she had a lot of mountain bikes, and I just loved riding them around her neighborhood. I don't know, like I wasn't really a type to always, honestly, I feel like I always owned a bike, but I never really went out riding a bike. But for some reason, when I went to her house and riding the mountain bike, it was just a different scene, a different situation. I loved it so much more. I don't even know if that makes sense, but I know we would all like go around and riding bikes on and off, sharing like who rode it and then like swapped off, okay, your turn, like that type of situation. But I don't know, I just remember that being like one thing we did a lot. The next thing I had was make lemonade. As a kid, I loved, for some reason, I don't know what it was. I think it was just the fact of like making the lemonade or iced tea or something. We would always have lemonade and iced tea stands. I don't think this reflects back to like my cousin's house. I know where I grew up, me and my brother would always make some, I want to say we made a lot of iced tea stands, but I know we had a certain amount of lemonade stands. We would just, I think, take the, you know, like the little like pop-up tables, like folding tables you can use to like eat if you wanted to eat in like a living room and like watch TV. We would take a couple of those and set them up in the driveway and put like the lemonade pitcher or iced tea pitcher, some cups. We would make a little sign to hang on the tables, but then we would make like a big sign. And my road was off of a busier road, so one of us would go and like stand at the corner and try to direct people like up the road to do like come and get either lemonade or iced tea or whatever we were selling. And I think we did like 50 cents a cup, like, and it was one of those things where it's like, as a kid, even if you made like $5 from that, like that was crazy. Like you did a really good job. $5 was a lot. So I don't know, I just thought it was super fun. I loved it. I definitely like hope to do that growing up with JJ. I don't think I'm in the area right now to like set it up and do all that, but I'm hoping like either at cousin's house or grandparents' house or something to go and set up a little iced tea stand, and hopefully he'll have a blast. I know I loved it as a kid. The next thing I had was have a picnic, which this I'm just really excited about because I feel like it's such like a fun, cute little idea and kind of situation I want to do with JJ. I always have wanted to just like kind of do what I did tonight and bring like a blanket and something and just sit at the beach and either read and have a little snack or have a little picnic at the beach. I feel like eating in the sand kind of can get really messy and probably gross, but depending on what you bring and who you're with, I feel like with JJ, he'll just have all his food in the sand. But, you know, going with like a group of friends or something, it obviously changes the whole game. But I do ideally want to do that at least once this summer. I feel like that would be super cute and fun. The next thing is something very new for me actually, and I'm very excited about. It was make a summer reading list. My last book I read, I finished in 2 days. That is not my type of style at all. I'm usually like a pretty slow reader, I would think. And the book before that, for example, it took me a month to read, like literally a month exactly. When I logged it into Goodreads, I started it on Mother's Day, which was May 12th, and I finished it on June 12th. It took me a month to get through. Granted, I personally thought when I first started it that it did start really slow for me, and then I finally got into it, and when I finally started to get into it, I didn't want to put it down. The last book I read, I feel like I automatically got into, which probably helped the fact that I finished it in 2 days. But this book that I'm in, I started yesterday, and I'm honestly a little more than halfway through it. I think Goodreads was telling me that I'm 70-something% through. Let's see. Oh, no, I lied. 63% through. And I did all that in a day. I feel like if I sat down tonight and honestly just got into it, I could finish it. I don't know if that's going to be the vibe tonight, but I'm super excited. I love it. I just started reading This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. I heard it was really good, and I get the hype because it is a super cute summer romance type of book, and so far I love it. I never used to think about like books I would read when, like if that makes sense. I would just be like, oh, I want to read this, I'm gonna read it. Like I wasn't like, oh, we're in the summer, let's find like a good summer romance. Like I never like put two and two together when picking out what I wanted to read. But I do want to get into, if I keep up the pace that I'm at, I can read a good amount of books this summer, which I'm really excited because I do also want to read Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and she has another one. It's Every Summer After, and I heard they're all like just really cute summer romance books. So I kind of want to get through as many as I can and still look on like my TBR TBR list and just, I don't know, read more. I feel like I also started like a reading challenge kind of on Goodreads of reading, I think, 20 books this year, and I'm making better progress than I thought I would. So I'm kind of keeping up with it, and I'm really proud of myself. And I love the fact that I am in the reading era that I'm in, if I'm being honest. But anyways, make a summer reading list. Add the 3 books I just mentioned onto it. Honestly, 10/10 recommend. This Summer Will Be Different. I absolutely love it so far. The next thing I have was create your own tie-dye shirts. I haven't done this in so long, but I know I've done this at my cousin's house at least once. Like I know we went to Walmart, got white shirts, rubber bands, kind of rolled them up. You rubber band it, tie-dye it, let it dry, and they come out amazing. Honestly, I love it. I love the way tie-dye shirts come out. They're so cute, so simple, but like so much fun and such a cute little summer idea. If honestly JJ was a little older, I'd probably try it out with him, but I just feel like that would be super messy with him right now. So maybe in like a year or two, but I highly recommend doing your own tie-dye shirts. I love them so much. The next thing I have was make friendship bracelets. I don't think I ever really made friendship bracelets per se, but I know I used to love making bracelets. I don't even know what they were. So I always went to Michael's and got just like those different colored, just like strings. And I would take the string and like measure, like holding the string in my hand and measuring to my elbow. And however long that was, that's like where I would cut. I would honestly do like 2 or 3 different colors. If I tried it right now, I would probably have to retrain myself and re-figure out how to make them. But usually if I held it like that, measured to like my elbow and cut right there and made the bracelet, it would typically be the size that would fit my wrist when it was done, if that makes sense. But I used to love making them. I would make them all the time. I would make so many I wouldn't even know what to do with, and how I would have so much string I wouldn't know what to do with. But that is another cute little idea. Like the little braided bracelets is what I would used to do, and they would come out so cute. I loved them so much. I feel like I would make them just for fun. I kind of miss doing that. I should probably just go get like some random string and just make 1 or 2, just because, like I said, I'd probably have to like retrain myself. I know I would like tape it to my wall and just stand there and make bracelets. Like I would do it for hours. My neck would be like killing me because I'd be so like strained sitting in that one spot and just sitting there making a bracelet, but I would like push through and just do it all night if I could have, honestly. The next thing I had was get a projector and watch movies outside. This could kind of be like at home vibes, but also kind of gives me like summer drive-in vibes. I know there's one close to where I used to live. They had like a drive-in. I don't think I've ever really gone to a drive-in, but I would love to try it out. I would definitely go. I feel like it's such a vibe. Just chilling in your car, windows down. I think you have to like connect it to like a radio station or something to like hear the actual movie. I think that's how it works, honestly. But I don't know, like if it's super nice out, get some snacks, a drink, you're just chilling in your own car, like either with family, friends, whoever, and that's just kind of a vibe. My brother had sent me a snap recently that he had bought a projector, and at the apartment where he lives with his girlfriend, they have like a little patio setup type of situation. So I know I think he went to Target and bought like just like a bed sheet, and I don't know how he put it on whatever wall he has, but he basically pinned it somehow to like the back wall on the patio and aimed the projector towards it. I think he has it set up to like his phone. I don't really know how it all works, but I don't know. I kind of was like, oh, I'll probably just end up inviting myself over with JJ and we'll sit and watch movies. But I feel like that is just so cool. And I feel like you could do it like outside. You could do it. I feel like even in your room, if you put like a sheet, I don't know if you would like put it on your wall or if you would use like your curtains or something in some type of way and put a projector and just sit and watch a movie like that. I feel like it just changes the game of movie night. You're not just staring at a screen, like your TV screen, and watching like a movie in that like typical way. I feel like if you're maybe making like some type of fort or some situation on the floor and getting comfy cozy and watching it projector wise, I don't know, it's just different and fun, and I need to try it sometime this summer. I need to either get a projector or like crash at my brother's and be like, sorry, we're gonna watch a movie. The next thing I have is kayak in a lake. I know my brother has a kayak, I'm pretty sure. I know he like impulse bought it one summer, like forever ago, but I don't know, maybe if he like takes it out one day, we'll go with him, or even if I like borrow it and take it somewhere by myself. I feel like kayaks are kind of fun. I'm really not a boat person. I've never been a boat person. I've kind of been scared of boats. Not gonna lie. A kayak, for some reason, I probably would be a little scared, but it makes me feel better being in a kayak than it does in a boat. I don't know if that even makes sense, but to me it makes sense. I feel like it's also just different. Like you're kind of just vibing by yourself. You're not probably with a large crowd on a boat or something. I feel like the way boats also kind of like bounce in the water sometimes as you're going like through it. Not that you're going fast, but like when you're going not as slow, you're like bouncing in the waves, and that just kind of makes me nervous. I don't know what it is, but I feel like that's why a kayak doesn't freak me out as much, because you're kind of controlling it and you're not like, you don't go that fast in a kayak. You're not going to be bouncing like you are in a boat. So it kind of settles me a little bit, if that makes sense. But I think I want to try to use his kayak at least once this summer. I feel like that'll be different because I don't typically kayak. I know we tried it once and it wasn't bad. I feel like I would need to do it a few more times to not be kind of freaked out, but we'll see. And the next thing, this is actually the last thing that I had. This 100% brought me down memory lane because, I'm not even like talking about the topic. The topic was boogie boarding. My family used to go on vacation to Wildwood, New Jersey every summer in July, usually like the same week. And the first day when we would get down there, we would literally just be at the beach. We wouldn't do anything except for the beach and then walk the boardwalk at night and just kind of like, you get there and you're just kind of chilling for the day. After that, we would have plans and do this and do that. And one day would be like a breakfast, like Sunday would be like a breakfast and then a plan for the day. Boogie boarding used to be so much fun. I don't know if they make like big boogie boards. Like I feel like as a kid, the boogie board felt like huge. It felt like a surfboard almost. But I know like you'd always like strap the thing around your ankle or your wrist or whatever. I think it had to be your ankle because I don't think you could really stand up if it's on your wrist. Attach it to your wrist so if you fall off, you're not like losing your boogie board. But I know we would always buy some when we were down there and used to try to like come in with the waves and kind of stand on it, like kind of surfboarding, but like obviously not surfboarding. It's not a surfboard. But it used to be so much fun. I actually used to love it. I don't know, like, can you still, like, I guess if you're just standing on it, does it really matter the size? Do they make different size boogie boards? I have no idea. But I would love to go back to New Jersey. I love being down there. We stayed right at the beach. So as soon as you walk into a little hotel we were at, you would literally just take a left. You were walking right at the beach. The boardwalk was right there. Everything we did was on the boardwalk, so it's not like we had to really be in a car and travel anywhere once we were there, which I think I loved the most. I know we did. I went one year with my cousins, and we did bikes. We rode bikes up and down the boardwalk, and I don't think I really realized how long the boardwalk was until we were bike riding, and by the time we got back, my legs were super exhausted, and I was like, oh my God. I don't think we ever really walked the whole thing. We would just walk. I know we would stop at the little amusement park. Like they had a section with rides at the boardwalk. We would kind of walk until there and kind of turn back. We wouldn't keep going. And I know they had a whole bunch of little food spots we would go at, little shops to go into. Mostly we were just at the beach. So like I said, we weren't really that far down the boardwalk, but I remember trying to bike up and down. It was crazy. It felt so long. It's like you didn't even realize it was that long until you were actually like going through it. But yeah, boogie boarding was just, I don't know. It was just something I wouldn't expect to get into and like so much. Obviously it can get pretty frustrating when you're trying to just stand up and you can't, but it is what it is. I think it was so much. I can't even talk. I thought it was so much fun. I loved it. I kind of just want to go back to New Jersey. To me, New Jersey is pretty nice. I really liked it. But that was my little walk down memory lane for summer nostalgic vibes. And with that being said, that is all I have for this episode. Like I said too, I'm so sorry that it was a day late, but better late than never. Hopefully. I love you guys so, so much. Thank you guys so much for listening, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully back on schedule, back with another episode. Bye.